She'd been my close friend for years.
Baby, can't you see?
Don't say that to me ever fucking again. Do not reach out to me ever again.
It's dangerous.
The situation gets so much worse and so much deeper than any of us originally thought.
Don't you know that you're toxic?
Today, New Year's Eve, day of all days, Creepshow Art decided to drop a new video.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, how's it going, everybody? Happy New Year, happy 2022. If you're new here, hello, my name is Cam, and if you're not new and you keep coming back again and again, thank you. I really appreciate you. Today's video is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you very much to Sarah for becoming a patron. I appreciate it. Patreon is a platform where I post more personal kind of videos, so if you're interested in that type of content, there's the link in the description bar below. And with that, let's get into the video. On the 31st of December 2021, I posted a video recapping all the major dramas that you guys, my audience, have been interested in, aka the dramas that I've covered on my channel in 2021. And part of that was a recap on Creepshow Art. Well, wouldn't you know it, Creepshow Art had just posted a video like an hour before, which was completely shocking because Creepshow Art had been MIA since June of 2021. So this video comes after a break of 7 months. Buckle up, everybody, because we're going to talk about the rise and fall of Creepshow Art, and at the end we're going to talk about the return and where I believe her and where I don't. In this video, I'll be using Shannon and Creepshow Art interchangeably. I'm saying this for people who don't really know all the details of the situation. Don't be confused. Shannon and Creepshow Art, same thing. Shannon, aka Creepshow Art, is 28 years old, is married to a man named Anthony, and they are both originally from San Jose, California. Creepshow Art, the channel, was started in 2016 by Shannon, but she didn't post anything until March 20th, 2018, when Shannon posted her first video entitled Addicted to Porn.
Hi guys, my name is Shannon, and today I'm going to be telling you all about the time my grandma accused me of being addicted to porn.
At this point in time, Shannon and her husband were homeless by choice. They were living in a car, I think in Portland, Oregon.
So in this video, I wanted to go over what it was like to be homeless, or kind of partially be homeless, living out of a car for about 2.5, 3 years or so. And keep in mind, this was a conscious decision to do this. We didn't get evicted and thrown out on the street or something like that. We planned for this for about 6 months to about a year or so.
And Shannon was going to this Starbucks, a coffee shop where she was filming these videos. She was essentially filming her own hand drawing on physical paper. She was telling stories, and this was a niche that was essentially started by Emily Artful back in the day, though she does not take credit necessarily for all of that, but she is the first one that started to post story times over her drawing art.
I started my series Sketchbook Storytime because I noticed there was kind of like a gap in the market. There were Storytime channels and there were art channels, and obviously there were millions of gaming channels at the time, but I'd not seen thus far anyone marry art and story times. Do I think I'm like the absolute 100% first person who's ever done this ever? No. But I did try pretty hard to find other people doing sketchbook story times, but I couldn't find that. So I came up with this term, and I created the series where I talked about different incidents in my life. And then I started getting these comments, people saying like, do you know Creepshow Art? And Creepshow Art is copying you. And have you seen this Creepshow Art girl? I was getting comments that were like, interesting. They were like, ugh, you're just a ripoff of Creepshow Art. And then opposite comments that were like, love you, Emily. Creepshow Art is a ripoff of you. So I didn't think anything of it until I got a comment of someone saying, hey, Creepshow Art has stolen a few of your thumbnails as well as your sketchbook storytime name. Like, she has completely ripped off your series.
At first, Shannon was just posted story times on the Creepshow Art channel, and it was doing really well. She was talking about art, she was talking about her own personal life, but somewhere in there in the first year of being on YouTube, Shannon started to pivot her channel from story times to drama or commentary type videos, keeping the same format of her drawing. Later on, she even had guest artists, like small artists that would draw something for her and she would credit them, but she would talk about drama or commentary type content. in the background.
Hey guys, it's Shannon, and before I get into today's video, I do want to give a massive shout out to Miss Susie, who is one of my favorite creators on this hell site known as YouTube. Fun fact, she's actually the first YouTuber I ever spoke privately with. She's the first YouTuber I would ever say is my friend, and she inspired one of my most watched videos of all time, that being the one I made about Tumblr being a hell site for artists.
This strategy worked really well for Shannon. Within a year, I think, or a year and a few months, basically, she started posting in March of 2018. In June 2019, she crossed the 100k subscriber mark, which is like a big milestone for YouTube. So I think that her strategy of starting with like story times about art, about her personal life and stuff, and then pivoting into the commentary / drama niche was really successful. It was so successful that it only took her another year to double her subscriber count, to go from 100k to 200k, and then within another half a year she reached 300,000 subscribers. Shannon was very well seen in the community. She had several friends such as Ready to Glare, D'Angelo Wallace, Smoky Glow. I was even one of her friends at the end of 2020 when she came and interviewed on my channel, because she was kind of involved in some, or to be more transparent about it, she was involving herself in drama that had nothing to do with herself when the whole lawsuit between Tati and Without a Crystal Ball was happening. The reason I mentioned all these friendships and all the connections that Shannon was making, this was like a small percentage of the actual connections that she had. She was someone who constantly connected with other creators, other YouTubers, etc. And one of the most public friendships that she had was with Ready to Glare. Shannon would constantly shout out Ready to Glare on her channel. Ready to Glare would constantly shout out Creepshow art on her channel. This was very public, but it also was a friendship behind the scenes, and I believe this was another part of her strategy and another reason why she grew so fast, because she created all these relationships with other creators, and you know, it is how it is. The fact that Shannon was really well seen in the community actually contributed to the downfall of another creator, Hopeless Peaches, because Shannon again had so much respect from the community, had so many friends within the commentary community, within the art community as well, and when she posted this video talking about how Hopeless Peaches was a liar, this video reached almost 1 million views. I think this was maybe a part of a series, if I'm not mistaken. There were at least 2 videos about Hopeless Peaches that Shannon posted. These contributed very much to a host of mental health issues that Hopeless Peaches had, and basically it all but made Hopeless Peaches quit YouTube. She was not as big of a creator as Shannon, so when Shannon posted about Hopeless Peaches and sent essentially a mob of hate her way, Hopeless Peaches didn't do very well with her mental health, with her channel, etc. It was only after the downfall of Shannon that Hopeless Peaches was able to clear her name and she was finally believed. And this is such an important point to me, because I think had it not been for the amount of relationships that Shannon had in the art community, in the commentary and drama community, I think more people may have been able to see more clearly and essentially be more objective and be able to discern between the things that Shannon was saying that were true and the things that were manufactured. However, it's really important to say that Shannon was essentially manufacturing evidence, but she had a good reputation, and all this manufactured evidence essentially made it so that people believed Shannon instead of believing Peaches. Even though Peaches was trying her best to defend herself, eventually she just stopped talking about it and she posted less and less, with her even in 2021 posting a video saying that she is indefinitely leaving YouTube. She has since returned, so I'm really glad to see that, because there's nothing that I hate more than an unfair situation that makes it so that the creator can no longer post. So welcome back, Peaches. Everything was going really smoothly for Shannon, and of course everyone was rooting for her, having been someone who used to be homeless and now was doing really well on YouTube. I think she had so much support, and in 2021 the YouTube algorithm picked up her channel and essentially she crossed the 450,000 subscriber mark.
Hey guys, it's Shannon, and before I get into this video, I do want to thank all of y'all, because I just hit 420,000 subscribers right now, and I low-key think that's amazing.
She was very well seen until June 2nd of 2021, when lolcow exposed Shannon.
This Twitter thread was posted talking about a YouTuber called Creepshow Art that got outed on lolcow's forums for basically being an awful person.
So first of all, just a little bit of background. Basically, lolcow is a website where people post anonymously. This is intended to just kind of talk trash about all sorts of things internet related. And apparently Shannon had been posting there for like 2 or 3 years. Even though lolcow had anonymous posters, they also had some community guidelines, and apparently Shannon did not respect several of them, with one of the community guidelines being that you cannot dox a real person. And Shannon actually doxed her own sister, of all people, and basically this prompted the lolcow admins to reveal her identity. When this happened, there were like so many Reddit threads compiling all of the posts that Shannon had posted on lolcow. These posts were homophobic, rape. She was even talking trash about herself because she was pretending to be anonymous. She was pretending she was not herself. However, the posts that she was posting about herself were sort of humble brags. And also she was talking trash about her own online friends.
Later on, I find out via Shannon that people are alleging that she's posting this vile shit about her friends.
While publicly, Creepshow Art was really good friends with D'Angelo Wallace and Ready to Glare, on lolcow she was really trashing them. She was also trashing Hopeless Peaches, which we kind of already know, I guess, because at this point she had posted videos saying that Hopeless Peaches was a liar. But back when she was posting these posts on lolcow, she was essentially shouting Hopeless Peaches out on her channel. So at that point, she was pretending to be friends with her. When the lolcow admins revealed her identity, they essentially did this by tracking her IP address. So this was the same IP address that was posting over, I don't know, a span of 2 or 3 years. This is how the admins were able to say that this was Shannon Creepshow Art. But essentially when this happened, Shannon was not about to just be honest all of a sudden. So basically what she did, she posted this long ass community post in which she was trying to blame this fictitious Amy for essentially just like stealing her IP address and posting, pretending to be her, pretending to be anonymous. Like, obviously the story was never gonna hold up. At the same time, she was also trying to pretend like her account was hacked. She said that she was going to essentially have her lawyers send this fictitious Amy a cease and desist notice or something along those lines, and she was taking it to court. This was all because of lolcow. While we were obviously very, very suspicious of Shannon, I was very suspicious at that time for sure. I was still ready to kind of give her the benefit of the doubt because we had been friends, she had donated to my campaign and so on. So I was still just kind of holding up a little bit, but it was really hard because her defense was really, really bad, with essentially just blaming someone else for trying to impersonate her on an anonymous website. Obviously that was just some bullshit. Nobody really fell for it, but I was just kind of trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But then I stopped giving her the benefit of the doubt when Emily Artful posted her video exposing Creepshow Art. This video was so heartbreaking. Essentially, Emily Artful came out to explain that Creepshow Art's husband had been one of her exes. The story was extremely heartbreaking, extremely long, so I would rather not go into details on that. What it came down to was that Creepshow Art and her husband had been stalking Emily for 8 years, for more than 8 years, and basically threatened her several times. They called employers that she had and she got fired because of lies that they were spreading about her. When I saw this video, I just immediately realized that this is way too painful, way too raw for Emily to manufacture all this story. I believe Emily still to this day. I just do. Since June 2021 up until the 31st of December 2021, there was no trace of Shannon online. She didn't post on her Instagram. She didn't post on her personal Instagram either. She didn't post on YouTube. Nobody ever heard anything of her again. I personally thought that she was going to be gone forever. Well, guess what? The disgusting year that 2021 was had to end with a disgusting video by Shannon. So we're gonna have a look at it in this video. It's extremely long, so I'm not really gonna show you my reaction to everything that she said. I'm just gonna like compile the most important 5 to 10 minutes, and basically that's gonna be it.
If you are seeing this video, it means one of two things has happened. Either one, my lawyers negotiated with Emily's lawyers and we reached a private settlement which resulted in some form of retraction, or two, I took Emily to court for defamation and came out the other side.
I don't think any of the two things have happened, because if one of the things would have happened, she would have said this happened, not one of two things might have happened. If her lawyers negotiated with Emily Artful's lawyers and they reached a private settlement which resulted in some retraction, then Emily would have retracted, quite literally, the videos from her channel, or would have made a statement of sorts. I'm not aware of anything of the sort having happened, so number one did not happen. And two, if Emily was taken to court and Shannon won, that would mean that Emily's videos would be taken down from Emily Artful from the channel. But right now, as I'm looking at it, the videos on Creepshow are still there. So I think we're starting off with some huge exaggerations, if not lies, straight up. Watch the damn video. Okay, this was extremely long, 2 hours and a half. I don't recommend the watch. My conclusion for the entire thing is that Shannon tried to blame the stalking and harassment that Emily says she has gone through because of her and Anthony. She tries to blame that on the anime community that Emily was part of. I'm not saying that the anime community didn't stalk or harass Emily, but it doesn't necessarily make me think that what Emily said about her and Anthony is false. So as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, it could be that both the anime community and Shannon and Anthony were doing this potentially at the same time, potentially throughout the years. I don't know, but I'm assuming that the harassment and bullying that Emily has gone through from the anime community probably stopped once she stopped doing that content.
The video of her in a bathtub caused a lot of anger in the community because the YouTube anime community is filled with mostly men who saw Emily doing that as a cheap way to get subscribers and attention.
I had a YouTube channel before. I don't know if you guys knew this. I did anime reviews, and the community was just very aggressive and mean and stalkery, and it wasn't a great community.
I was able to find this video from April 2013 that confirms what happened. This video has her full legal name in the tags, as well as notes that she did in fact do a nude review, and also notes how the members of the community were behaving inappropriately at the time, confirming the harassment she was receiving and why she was receiving it.
What up YouTube, G4 Leader here once again, back with another late night video for you guys, and tonight's topic will be females in the anime community, you know, and how the niggas act when they see these females in the anime community. You know, what made me want to talk about this shit is because I've been noticing a trend from this shit since 2009.
Literally, I saw a girl and I watched the full video of her in the bathtub doing a One Piece episode review, and it was a legitimate review. And I'm just sitting there going, why are you in the tub?
A chick got into a tub, made a One Piece review, and motherfuckers start losing their shit.
The closing statement, the final statement that Shannon puts out there really just makes me feel like Shannon is very, very hateful.
It's over. I am done. I am not coming back to YouTube. I have learned that the only people I can count on in my life are the people who actually know me. And if a random person comes online and states I stalk them with quite sincerely no evidence and literally posts on their active accounts that disprove that, people I genuinely admired and loved would just go with it and decide, yeah, that makes sense. Two people who I barely know anymore, who I barely, like, who literally have years of statements online, public, saying they hate me and they don't really know, they came and coincided this bullshit. Meanwhile, literally, no one in my life, no active friend of mine, not one friend who I'm actually close to, came forward and said, here's evidence of Shannon doing it. No one presented any evidence that holds up even a little bit to speculation. None. Which is why every lawyer, every police officer, every PI that Emily took this to immediately said she didn't have a case. Meanwhile, every lawyer I went to said I did and was eager to pursue this.
And to all the people who were like, Shannon went away because she's scared of being sued. Emily couldn't have sued me. She couldn't have. I didn't do anything. Even if she tried. I said I would address Tipster, so this is for him. Tipster said that if I was able to prove that I didn't do what I was being accused of, that he would apologize to me. And to that, I say, fuck you. You disgusting person. You maliciously attacked my husband because you yourself couldn't scroll down far enough on Emily's Instagram and find the multiple posts that debunk her story that are still live. You're a journalist, but you just couldn't do that. There is a reason your content gets fewer and fewer views than everyone else in the YouTube commentary community, and you keep being beat out by everyone else. And that's because it's terrible, lazy, and reductive. You should rename your channel Secondhand News, because you can't be fucked to actually research anything before you open your ugly mouth. You watch someone else's video and you say what they said worse than they said it. You aren't a reporter, you're not a journalist, you're a joke. Just know that you are a terrible person, and you can take that forgiveness and just fuck it. Just fuck that forgiveness right off. You are just as bad as Emily, if not worse, for supporting a mob with no evidence while claiming to do all this research and claiming to care about your friends or anything. I talked to you so many times, and you once cried on stream saying if Shannon was in trouble, she would tell me not to defend her because she's a good person. And when I told you not to do that, you were like, well, that's sign she's guilty. Even though there's evidence to say I'm not and no evidence to say I am. To the people who reached out, who said, I don't care if you did it. I still love your content. Don't leave YouTube. I love you. You're weird. Don't say that to me ever fucking again. Do not reach out to me ever again. That is not comforting. I spent all my time trying to help victims of what I was actually accused of, and to be told that my audience doesn't care about that is insane. To the people who told me to kill myself, better luck next time. Thanks for playing. And to everyone else, go touch some fucking grass. I am done. I'm fucking done.
She's obviously just giving the finger to everyone, to the people who sent her support, to the people who didn't. Like, I don't know what that was about, but it doesn't make me feel like she's a good person at all. To end this video, I'm just gonna say I still believe Emily. I really don't feel like Shannon cleared her name at all. I don't feel like she made herself look better through this video. I don't feel like she managed to defend her stance at all. Basically, the gist of this entire video is that Shannon tries to disprove what Emily said about Anthony and Shannon stalking her by stalking Emily, by going really, really deep into her history on the internet. In conclusion, I still believe Emily. I just don't think that this video clears Shannon's name or Anthony's name or any name for that matter. I just think this was like a whole bunch of irrelevant information. I really didn't need to know about Emily's pink walls. Like, it's just, if anything, the amount of information that Shannon has given on Emily's past in this video makes me think that actually Shannon was indeed stalking her. She had just so much access to so much information from her past. Did not make me comfortable to go that deep into someone's history. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at this. This is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please don't forget to like this video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!
It sound right, boy.